gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Chop It Up alongside a shooter, Jimmy Acevedo. I'm Eddie Castro. I am back. We got a new episode. Got a big show for you guys. We're ready to do this. I hope you're ready. Jimmy, we got baseball. Yes. It's finally here.
Finally.
I don't know about you guys, but I always felt spring started when opening day begins.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
here.
Yes, sir. We
We got the Mets and the Yankees. Part of my Oakland A's hat. I just like the color coordinate. Die-hard Yankee fan. Die-hard Mets fan.
Let's do it.
I
Let's
still
go
love
Mets,
this
baby.
guy.
Orange and blue. Orange and blue is here. We got Matt Harvey back. Yeah.
Still love the guy, but you know, that's his colors. I got my own colors.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy, on the topic of baseball,
What's up?
tell the viewers what they have to look forward to about your Mets.
Matt Harvey, baby. The Dark Knight returns. We filming this show today on a Thursday. You'll be getting this tomorrow afternoon. So you already know what went down with Matt Harvey today. 6 scoreless innings, 0 walks, 9 Ks. It's like he never left. We also have to look out for Jacob deGrom, the reigning National League Rookie of the Year.
Well,
Which he loves. Which he loves.
I'm a big, Yankee fan. Big on DeGrom. I think he's sensational. I think he's going to be a sight to see for Mets fans. Questions about their offense. One thing that was going with the Mets this year is their offense. We know about their pitching. We know they got arms to die for. Would they have enough offense to get past?
You know what? I think their bats are very underrated. So as far on paper they're very underrated. Because you got to think about it. The lineup, the way they got it set up, it's going to be a burden for the opposing team's manager when it gets to the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, which means bullpen. You have lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty to start off the lineup. Now, when you get deep in the games, you want to switch your bullpen to handle the lefty. You want to throw a left-hander to pitch to the lefty on Lucas Duda. But what happens when that lefty's gonna be there when Michael Kadire is next in the lineup? Because so far the way the lineup is looking, Granderson, David Wright number 2, Lucas Duda number 3, Michael Kadire number 4, Danny Murphy number 5. Right there, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty.
Right.
So you're gonna run through. So that's a beautiful way to mess up the opposite team's manager. Because what you gonna go use 3 arms in 1 inning? Try to get away from those guys. So and Duda's a dangerous hitter against righties. Danny Murphy, great hitter. David Wright, Michael Kadire demolishes left-handers. Curtis Granderson, when he wants to show up, he could do some damage.
Right.
So I think they're very underrated, man. Very, and not to mention Travis Darno, the young catcher who's having an incredible start to the year.
Right.
Batting .500 so far in 3 games. So I think they're very underrated, man. And they're gonna prove a lot of people wrong this year, along with the arms. And you know what? I'm going not because I'm a fan. They're making the playoffs this year.
Wow.
They are making the playoffs this year. And I'm going to go as far and say they're going to be the National League East champions this year.
Wow.
Yes. It's 2 teams coming out the National League East. Nationals, Mets. Now, it's still 50-50. I'm maybe a little biased because I'm a Met fan. That's what I'm saying. They're going to take the crown. But as you know with your Yankees, you could spend all your money that you want, get all the high-paid players.
Right.
That don't always deliver.
Never doesn't mean that it equals to chemistry.
Exactly, and it seems like the Nationals are ripping a page out of the Yankees playbook a few years ago. We're signing all these high-priced players. But not to mention, they are going to be good. They're not going to be garbage at all. But I just think, this is the Mets year, baby. This is the Mets year, and we're going to make noise.
Okay, well.
And we got a good bullpen.
Good bullpen.
Go ahead. Tell us about your Yankees this year.
Before I get to the Yankees, going on, Jimmy, it will be the first time the Mets make will make the playoffs since 2006. And you think about 2006, all I think about is the Andy Chavez catch, which I played.
Man, all I think about is that damn strikeout, Carlos Beltran, the bases loaded, man. Adam Wainwright, damn you, Adam. Damn you, Adam Wainwright. Damn you, man.
The knee buckler. Well, you got the Mets side. Here, I'm here to give you guys the Yankee side. Well, September 25th, 2014, last game of Derek Jeter. Leads out with a bang, game-winning shot to win the ball game against the Baltimore Orioles. All that is history. The first time since 1995, the Yankees will take the field without Derek Jeter, which leads Didi Gregorius to fill in some big shoes. Now, the Yankees did something a little lackadaisical, and that is they didn't spend much money. They went and they got younger, and they got themselves a primary bullpen pitcher, which seems to be the closer for the time being, in Andrew Miller. The Yankees, if they are healthy, and I'm talking about their rotation, Sabathia's coming off knee surgery. He's 2 years away, 2 years removed from being a All-Star caliber player. So we got to put that into perspective. Although it's a big guy, it's a big body.
Better eat that Captain Crunch.
A lot of people,
Cy Young form.
a lot of people, it's a lot of wear and tear and torque you put on that knee for a big guy like Sabathia. Pineda hasn't been healthy in a couple of years since he's been with the Yankees. He's had some shoulder issues, and he's back in the fold. He's had a superb game a night ago. And Tanaka vouched to not get off-season Tommy John surgery as he decided to rehab the also collateral ligament in his pitching shoulder.
Which is going to come back and bite you in the butt. And
you just got to hope that that's the type of significant injury that he'll hold up, because quite frankly, that injury like that with that partial tear could be a time-ticking bomb waiting to explode.
Look what happened with Johan.
So, oh, come on now.
Johan did. I'm talking about he didn't go for operation. He went for natural healing and just resting it. And he still ended up having to do the surgery.
Yep. So you gotta hope. Let's be fortunate that little sweet guys can stay healthy, and also expect the return of a healthy Ivan Nova, who is also coming back from Tommy John surgery. The Yankees have an excellent bullpen. I'll go on record as saying probably one of the best bullpen, if not the best bullpen in the American League, with the additions of the flamethrower Justin Wilson. You got Carpenter. You got my boy, fellow Grand Street alum, Dylan Betances, and you got Andrew Miller. So if their pitchers can go 5 innings and hand it off to the bullpen, the Yankees will put themselves in predicaments where they can actually win some ball games. That's if. And it's a big if. Because the Yankees are looking a little ARP-ish to me. And I could be a man. I can be a man and admit that. But if that rotation stay healthy, we could be talking about playoffs, the return of playoffs of the New York Yankees. If not, we could be talking about the Yankees missing the playoffs for the 3rd straight year, and that hasn't happened since the 1991-1992
I think
season.
that AL East is too stacked for them to make the playoffs. First of all, the loss of David Robinson is a major blow to that bullpen. I don't see the bullpen as a strong suit as much as you do, but bullpens are like all respect. I'm not even gonna say it because we got female viewers probably, but it's like Mother Nature, man. 1 year, you might be good at the one day, and you might be the worst of the next day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really. Bullpens is one of those weird things you can't really look too much upon in baseball because, like I said, you could be the top 5 bullpen in baseball. Next year, you could be in the bottom.
Absolutely,
10, you know?
Absolutely.
And so that's our perspective for those 2 teams. Let's talk about the divisions though, and the losses and key additions to each division. My NL East, my Mets are in the NL East. We're looking really good right now because a lot of key players left that division. let's start with the Atlanta Braves. Jason Hayward gone to St. Louis, and Justin Upton, San Diego Padres, and the shocker, Craig Kimbrel got traded to the Padres as well. So those are 3 all-star caliber players. That's an all-star closer, the best closer in baseball. You just sent away to the even though you got a second base prospect, but closers are hard to come by, man. I don't. So that's why it's looking good for my Mets, because Atlanta Braves is really young and unexperienced, and I don't see them making the playoffs back to the playoffs in a couple of years. Then we have the Philadelphia Phillies, who's just continuous. They're getting old. They just lost their heart and soul in Jimmy Rollins. The first baseman, Ryan Howard, he's just not living up to his contract. Chase Utley, getting older, can't stay on the field as much. Cliff Lee, if I'm not mistaken, he had Tommy John, right?
Yep.
Cliff Lee, another one out of the mix. You know, it's looking bad for the Phillies. Then we have the Miami Marlins. Not much of a threat.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, that's it.
Period.
That's all you got. So that's not a threat. Jose Fernandez won't be back till maybe mid-year, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say, mid-year. So that's another one for my boys not to worry about. Then it brings me to the Washington Nationals, who's the only threat to the New York Mets in that division. And you got the Nationals, who got the high-priced players with experience, against the New York Mets, who got the young cannons coming up and just want to mow you down. Matt Harvey, you know, I mentioned him, you know. Jacob deGrom, another one, you know. Bartolo Colon, who's a silent killer.
Silent killer. He's still very productive.
Silent killer. John East, who's very productive. And Dylan G. You don't sleep on Dylan G. Dylan G could give you a good 500 season with 12 and 10, 12 and 12, with a good, pretty decent ERA. So you know he'll be a number 3 pitcher on any other squad in the major leagues. And you know Henry Mejia as our closer right now. Henry Mejia, he's got put on DL. They're fearing Tommy John for him. I'm hoping to God no, but we got Henry Familia, who's a very up and coming arm, and he got closer stuff. And last year was rough for him in the major leagues because it was his first full year in the majors, and spring training and a few games. The game he came in on opening day, he was shutting it down. He was doing his thing, and he got some nasty stuff. So they're gonna plug him in the closer role, and this is a time that I think he'll take advantage of that.
Right.
So that's my Mets, man. I think that's why I think we got a way better path to the NFC. Look at that. We talking about football. and the National League East.
September, man.
Than his Yankees in the AL East.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing that concerns me about the Yankees, and is their offense. Their offense hasn't produced that much. The 3 games. I mean, we shouldn't look really into it, but as Yankee fans, we're going to look into it. It doesn't matter if it's 1 game. You know, they're not scoring as much runs. I mean, we saw some signs of their power in their recent game when A-Rod hit his home run and Mark Teixeira hit his home run. But, you know, their offense worries me because, you know, the age factor. But, you know, I'm hoping that this is a San Antonio Spurs experiment where they just start off slow and then the power will just rise up during the course of the season. As far as the AL East goes, Tampa Bay is going to take a step down. They've lost a lot of key players. James Shields is going to be a big blow. Toronto's going good. I think Toronto is going to be the sleeper in that division. Because Baltimore lost some key players. Nelson Cruz has gone to Seattle, and Nick Markakis is in Atlanta. And their pitching isn't as solid as it was a year ago. And I think Buck Showalter will even tell you that. But I think Toronto is definitely a team to watch. They got good pitching. and they got a superb bullpen, and they got some hitters. They got Encarnacion. They got Jose Bautista, who is now feeling as healthy as he felt the past 2 years. Not to mention the big addition. It may not be a big addition to anybody, but Russell Martin is definitely going to do some magic for that team.
He went home. He went home. Canada.
Born raised. So I'm not going to go on a limb, and I'm going to think with my head rather than my heart, and I will be happy if we can get a wild card spot. I think the division is going to be
Don't forget
a battle between Boston. Boston and Toronto. Boston made some great acquisitions. You know, they added another pitcher. Even though they lost John Lester, they got another pitcher in Rick Porcello. They got Hanley Ramirez, who's ripping the ball off the seams. Ripping the ball off the seams. And you got Kung Fu Panda there playing third. And David Ortiz is fine as wine, still doing his thing out there. So I think it's going to be a battle between Boston and Toronto. But I'm hopeful that the Yankees will get there and add themselves in the mix to it, because it will be a sight to see the Yankees missing the playoffs for the first 3 straight years for the first time since 1991-92 season.
Well, we'll see, man. We got a lot of games to go, a whole lot of season to go.
Yes, it's here. Baseball is here.
Let's just go New York teams, Mets and Yankees. You know, let's try to make them both. Let's try to do a Subway Series rematch just like 2000, and let's let the Mets take it this time. Anyway, let's go on to the hardwood, man. Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, who's making a playoff push, and they're slipping. I mean, they're in the number 7 seed right now.
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
With
last time I checked, it was number 7.
Night, with the previous night's loss to the Atlanta Hawks, which was a good game, by the way. Boston has won, and Miami has won. So Brooklyn has now fallen to the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference.
I think they're gonna fall off. They got no camaraderie, man. Am I talking crazy, or am I making a point? I mean, do you agree with me?
No.
No, you don't think you don't think they have camaraderie?
No, I mean, here and there, but I think they have the tools to make the playoffs.
Oh, they got the tools.
The thing that is so lackadaisical about this team is that you don't know what Brooklyn Nets team you're gonna get. But I'll tell you one thing.
Camaraderie!
I'll tell you one thing. If they need to play defense, because they're scoring. Scoring is not a problem with this team. Since the All-Star break, they're the second highest scoring team in the league, averaging 103.4 points per game. They can put the ball in the basket. We all know that. Darren Williams has shown signs of the Darren Williams of old, which is a good sign. Brook Lopez is playing his brains out. Yeah, I think so.
That's not your heart talking?
No, it's my head. Darren Williams has averaged 17 points and 9 assists a game, which is good enough. At the end of the day, it's good enough. His days of 2015.
This is the highest paid player on your roster.
I understand that.
Good enough. That money, 98, right? 98 million?
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Or did it go over 100?
No.
98?
No, around 98, yeah.
All right, $98 million. And you're just... what you said, just right? Those numbers are just right?
The reason why I put that into perspective is because he's coming off 2, and this is not an excuse, he's coming off 2 off-season ankle surgeries. And let's face it, when you're at the prime or past your prime, not to say he's past his prime, but his better days may very well be behind him.
Oh, it is.
Okay, the days of him scoring 25 points and 15 assists a night, those days are over.
Listen, when you get paid $98 million, you're supposed to be the leader of that team, dude. This is not the first year he fell off. The past 3 seasons, he hasn't been Darren Williams that they got since he signed that contract.
But this has been his most productive season since he's been in a Nets uniform. It's not. If you're expecting that, listen. I watch a lot of Brooklyn Nets basketball, and I'll be lying to you if I told you, you know what? We're going to get the full Darren Williams of Utah. We're not.
No,
we're not. We're not. But if he can put 18 points and 10 assists a game like he's been doing since the All-Star break, you got to sign up for that.
Dude, and
You
also,
got to score along with Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is scoring 26 points and 9 rebounds a game. Joe Johnson, even though he's falling, Joe Johnson can still give you a big shot.
that's a big shot, Joe. You know, and he will. Oh, you know, Joe Johnson. Listen, if you have a shot, if you have a nice release shot, you're not gonna lose that.
Right.
Real shooters don't lose that touch.
That's right.
Look at Ray Allen.
Right.
That man sitting in his couch right now. I bet you he could come in, suit up tonight, and drop open threes on anybody.
Ray Allen can shoot in his
You know? So, like, when you're a pure shooter, you don't lose that. And Joe Johnson, yeah, athleticism, he lost it with age. But as far as, he's still big game Joe. I still throw the ball in his hands with 3 seconds left on the clock. You know? And also, when I talk about camaraderie, you proved my point. You proved my point when you said that they got talented players, but they're not clicking. That's camaraderie. They don't have the camaraderie. And with a fantastic coach, we worked wonders in Memphis.
He sure did.
And they just not listening to him. I don't know if it's the communication. I'm so surprised. I had you guys being top 4 before the season started just because of him.
Right. Well, I mean, now the way you're looking at it may be a little bit too high praise, but I mean they're playing inconsistent basketball. Although they've won 7 of their last 9, they've lost 2 big crucial games that they needed to win.
And that's why they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna make it. Because you got the crucial game. That separates the boys from the men. Those crucial games.
Right.
And if you can't win those crucial games, what makes you think you're ready for the playoffs? Right?
The Nets got a pretty fair schedule with about 6 games to go. Let's say they can go 4-2. I hope they can get the AC because even though they lost to Atlanta, I was there at the game and I like what I saw. They played Atlanta about a week ago and they got their butts kicked by 31. Atlanta ran them out the Phillips Center over there.
As they should have.
What Brooklyn showed the other night against this Hawks team is that they tenacity, and that they can compete with the big boys.
No, they can't.
So if you're telling me they defeated Golden State,
they will get swept.
They defeated San Antonio.
They will get swept.
They defeated Golden State.
They will get swept by Atlanta.
They have defeated some of the best teams.
They will get swept in the first round against Atlanta.
No. Mm-mm. I'm not saying they'll win the series, but it will be a better series if they were to play Cleveland.
And that will be the only round Atlanta will win in that playoff series. Atlanta going out.
It would not be a sweep. It would not be a sweep. There's no way.
That's if they make it. I got this next 6 games. You said?
Yeah.
I got them going. Who they playing the next 6 games? Look it up.
Let's see.
Let's see. Who are they playing in the next 6 games? That right there will tell you if they'll make it to the playoffs or not. Because like I said, camaraderie is real big, and just like Eddie said, they lost 2 big games. How you expected to move forward in the playoffs? How you make yourself think that you're ready for the playoffs when you lost big games? And once you enter the lights of the playoffs, every game is a big game.
They have 4 games remaining.
4 games remaining.
Washington, Milwaukee, Chicago, and Orlando.
I got them going 1-3.
Even if they go 2-2.
Not happening.
If Boston, Indiana, and Miami were to lose their combination of games between that, Indiana's a half game back from the 8th seed.
A half game back only?
I think it's now a half game back.
Half game?
It could be a full game back. Last time I checked the standings.
They're playing Indiana, right?
No, they're not playing Indiana in the schedule. But they've beaten Washington before. They've beaten Milwaukee. They have not defeated Chicago this season. Orlando is not a playoff team.
If I'm not mistaken, the Wizards, the Bucks aren't, right?
The Bucks are. I believe the Bucks would have the 6th seed.
All right, so we got the Wizards, the Bucks, and the Bulls. I mean, I could see them making the playoffs for the simple fact that those 3 teams might rest their starters.
Which is my point exactly.
Which is godsend for you. You see his smile right now.
Well, sometimes the good Lord is good to you when he needs to be.
So if that happens, if those three teams sit their starters for long minutes just to rest them for the playoffs, then you know what? I think the Nets could pull it off. I really do.
I rather the Nets get the 8 seed than the 7 seed. I think Cleveland gives me nightmares. I don't see Brooklyn containing Cleveland at all. Period. I'll be honest with you. But I think, yeah, but if you're telling me in a playoff series whether I want to see Cleveland or Atlanta,
of course,
who I think Brooklyn has a better chance against, I'm from based on what I saw in that game the other night, I'd rather take the AC and take my chance with Atlanta. Even though it may be a landslide, but I don't think it would be as significant of a landslide as it would if we were to play Cleveland.
Listen.
We got some breaking news.
What's up?
We got some breaking news. Stay with basketball. I just got it a couple of minutes ago. Duke forward Jahlil Okafor, which is expected, has declared himself for the NBA draft.
Okay. Knocking on the Knicks door for that number 1 pick, man.
There you go.
But let's see. On that note, man, this time next week we will see if the Brooklyn Nets are playoff bound or not. So tune in next week and see what we got to say about that. Set them off.
All right. I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Richie and his now wife Uniqua. They were together 10 years. For the past 10 years, she's been feeling like LeBron, haven't had the ring, but now she's got one. Congratulations to you guys. God bless you. And I want to just thank the viewers for tuning in every single week. We're chopping up, being patient with us, tuning in, showing us love,
hearing us jibber jabber,
emailing us, doing whatever you gotta do, faxing us, whatever the case may be.
Coffee cups with water.
That's
thank you for just watching and listening to two Brooklyn dirtbags talk about sports.
Subscribe to the page.
Please, and subscribe and like the page.
Like the page.
Really appreciate it.
Tell us what you think. Give us ideas. Voice your opinions. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. And thank you very much. And we love you guys, man.
On
that note, do your thing.
Alongside Jimmy Acevedo, the shooter, I'm Manny Castro. We will see you guys next week. Stay fly, New York.
Yeah.